The sky was clear that morning. Birds flew across the blue sky. Kids laughed on their way to school. People were driving to work, drinking coffee, listening to music. News channels were talking about elections, celebrities, and sports. No one knew. No one expected what was coming. It started with a silence. Not a normal kind of silence, something deeper. The wind stopped. The birds vanished. Phones stopped ringing. Radios turned to static. Planes froze in midair. And then slowly dropped. The world paused. In a small town in Canada, a 17-year-old boy named Ryan stood outside his school, holding his little sister's hand. Her name was Lena, only 8 years old. She looked up at the sky and said, "Why did the sun go away?" Ryan looked up too. It wasn't night, but the sky had turned dark. Like something massive was covering the sun, and then they saw it. A ship. No. Not one. Hundreds. Giant black ships shaped like long bones, blocking the sky. People screamed. Cars crashed. Helicopters spun out of control. Dogs barked and ran. Sirens wailed for a second, and then everything just stopped. The ships made no sound. They didn't shoot. They didn't move. They just floated, silently. Ryan pulled Lena close and whispered, "We have to go home, now." They ran. Back at home, their parents weren't home. Dad worked at the hospital. Mom was at a government office. Phones weren't working. Ryan turned on the TV. All channels showed the same thing. Stay inside. Do not engage. No one knew who they were. No one knew what they wanted. Some believed it was just a show, a trick, maybe an army drill. But then, at exactly 2:16 p.m., everything changed. A beam of white light came down from one of the ships. It hit the city center. The entire city block vanished. No fire, no explosion, just dust. In a second, and that was just the beginning. The fall begins in the next 6 hours. Over 30 major cities were hit. Tokyo, Paris, New York, Istanbul, Delhi, Cairo, Johannesburg. All gone. Not bombed. Not destroyed. Erased. Governments tried to fight back. Jets flew up. Missiles launched. Tanks rolled through the streets. But the alien ships didn't even react. Bullets hit their surface and melted. Missiles exploded before reaching them. They were untouchable. The aliens, still unseen, began releasing small machines into the air. Flying orbs the size of footballs. They scanned everything. If someone tried to shoot one, the orb released a loud noise that knocked people unconscious. Some people called them hunters. Others called them watchers. They didn't kill. They didn't speak. They just watched. The bunker. Ryan remembered something. A year ago, his father had built a small underground bunker in their backyard. He said it was just in case of war. That just-in-case moment had come. He grabbed Lena's hand and led her outside. The sky was now full of dark clouds. Strange lights blinked between the clouds like lightning, but there was no thunder. They reached the backyard and opened the trapdoor. The ladder led down to a small cold room with food, water, a radio, and a generator. Lena was crying. Mom, I want Dad." Ryan held her close. "We'll find them. But for now, we stay here. Promise me, Lena. No matter what happens, don't go outside." She nodded. The lights flickered. The generator hummed. And above them, the world ended. Across the planet in the next 3 days, Earth fell. Not with fire. Not with blood, but with silence. There were no more armies. No more leaders. No more internet. No more planes. The sky was filled with black ships. Roads were empty. Cities turned cold. People hid, some underground, some in forests, some in deep caves. A few tried to fight. They vanished. The aliens never showed themselves. No face, no message. No reason. Just the ships. Watching. Waiting. The whisper one night. After 5 days in the bunker, Ryan heard something strange on the old radio. It was static at first. But then a voice. Faint. Broken. This is Resistance. Broadcasting from Sector 9. Northern Alaska, repeat. If you can hear this, you're not alone. Rayan sat up straight. He adjusted the radio dial. The signal was weak. But the voice was real. We are survivors. We have alien tech. We're fighting back. Fighting back. That thought burned in Rayan's mind. He looked at Lena, sleeping beside him, holding her toy bear. He had lost everything, but maybe not hope. Decision Rayn knew what he had to do. He packed food and supplies. Took a small bag. Wrapped Lena in warm clothes. We're going to Alaska, he said. Lena blinked. Is it cold there? Very cold. But there's people, good people, like us. He didn't know how far Alaska was. He didn't know what dangers waited on the way, but staying meant dying slowly. Leaving meant hope. The journey begins. They stepped outside for the first time in over a week. The world was different. Snow covered the ground, even though it was early fall. The sky was still. Dark, no birds, no animals. Trees were twisted strangely. Buildings stood like broken teeth. And in the distance, one of the alien ships hovered low. Silent, UNMOVING. Lena whispered. Are they still watching us? Rayan said. Let them watch. We're not stopping. He held her hand tightly, and together, they walked into the cold unknown. Final scene, cinematic ending, above them. High in the sky, one of the alien ships slowly turned. For the first time in days, its lights blinked. It had noticed them, and it was interested. The cold wind howled across the empty landscape. Snowflakes danced in the gray sky, swirling like lost spirits. Rayan pulled his coat tighter around Lena. Her small hand trembled in his. She was quiet now, tired from the long journey. They had left their home, their city, their life behind. The black ship still floated silently above, blocking out the sun. The world was different now, quiet, dark, and dangerous. But the signal on the old radio, that voice from Alaska, was a promise. Rayan's heart beat faster as he looked toward the distant mountains. We are not alone, he whispered. The signal, the radio crackled again in the small shelter where they had stopped to rest. The voice came through, faint, broken, but alive. Resistance here. Hold on, find the signal tower at Frost Point. Help us fight back. Rayan tightened his grip on the radio knob. Frost Point was a small town on the northern edge of Alaska, near the mountains. He looked at Lena, who blinked sleepily. We have to find that tower, Rayan said softly. Lena nodded. The journey through snow. The snow was deeper now. Each step was heavy. The cold bit at their faces like tiny needles. Trees around them were frozen, their branches like skeleton fingers reaching out. Sometimes, strange sounds echoed, whispers, crackling noises, the wind carrying distant, broken voices. At night, they huddled in caves or under fallen trees. Rayan kept the fire low, afraid to attract attention. Why are we running? Lena asked one night, her voice small. Because the ships took our planet, Rayan said. Will they find us? We have to be faster than them, smarter. The hunter in the forest one morning, as they walked through a narrow path in the forest, Rayan noticed something strange. Small, glowing orbs floated between the trees. Silent. He froze. Hunters, he whispered. Lena squeezed his hand. The orbs moved slowly, scanning. Suddenly, one hovered right in front of them, shining a bright light. Rayan held Lena behind him and whispered, Don't move. The orb made a low hum, and then floated away, disappearing into the fog. Rayan exhaled deeply. We have to be careful, he said. Meeting Mila days later, near the edge of Frost Point, they met someone unexpected. A woman stood alone, dressed in worn armor. Her hair was tied back tightly. Her eyes were sharp, tired, but fierce. Who are you? Rayan asked, stepping forward carefully. I'm Mila, she said. I'm part of the resistance. We saved the signal tower. Lena hid behind Rayan. Mila looked at Lena and smiled softly. You're safe with me. Rayan felt hope rising. Resistance inside a small underground base. Mila showed them around. Walls were lined with old screens, maps, and strange devices. A few others worked quietly, repairing alien machines. They took our planet, Mila said, but we're not giving up. We have alien tech. We're learning how to fight. Rayan watched a glowing blue device on the table. What is that? He asked. Power core, Mila said. It's the heart of their ships. If we can control it, we can control the war. But it's inside the ships, Rayan said. How do we get it? Mila's face grew serious. We need someone to go inside and take it. She looked at R-A-Y-O-E-N. The mission. Rayan's heart jumped. You want me? Mila nodded. You're young, fast, and smart. We need a scout. Someone who can sneak into a crashed ship nearby. Lena's eyes grew wide. Rayan thought about his sister's safety. He looked at Mila. I'll do it. Preparing for danger, the next days were full of training. Rayan learned how to move quietly, use small weapons, and understand alien symbols. Mila warned him. These ships are alive. The walls breathe. The machines see everything. Rayan listened carefully. He had never felt so scared and so determined. Lena helped by giving him small notes, drawings, and reminders to stay safe. The night before, on the last night before the mission, Rayan sat alone outside the base. Snow fell softly. He thought of Earth's old home, now lost. He thought of Lena, sleeping safe inside. He thought of the voice on the radio. The hope. And he made a promise to himself. I will bring the power core. I will bring hope. The beginning of the infiltration at dawn, Rayan moved silently toward the crashed ship. The ship was huge. Its black surface was cracked and frozen with ice. As he touched the hull, he felt a strange vibration. The ship was alive. Rayan took a deep breath and entered. Inside the alien ship, the corridors were dark but pulsed with soft blue light. The walls seemed to move like they were breathing. Strange machines hummed quietly. Some looked like giant eyes. Rayan's heart pounded. He followed the map Mila had given him. Suddenly, a shadow moved. A figure appeared, human, but with glowing eyes. Who are you? The figure whispered "Ray" and froze. The prisoner's warning. The glowing-eyed man stepped forward. I'm Kale, he said. I was captured by them. You don't belong here. Kale looked scared. They know your face now, he said urgently. They watch everything. Rayan's blood ran cold. Get out, Kale warned. Before it's too late. Rayan didn't hesitate. He grabbed the small device Kale gave him, a Kogave tracking jammer. He ran back through the twisting corridors, hearing distant noises behind him. The ship's walls seemed to close in. Outside, the air was freezing cold. Rayan burst out, gasping. He looked back. The ship's lights blinked, like it was angry. Back to the base when Rayan returned. Mila and the others waited anxiously. He showed them the device. Kale's warning made everyone tense. Now they know we're coming, Mila said. Rayan looked at Lena and said, we have to move faster. The fight for Earth was only beginning. Final scene outside. The snow fell harder. The black ships watched. And somewhere deep inside the cold night, the resistance prepared for war. The cold was gone the moment Rayan stepped inside the alien ship. It was dark. Too dark. But glowing blue veins ran through the walls alive, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. The air smelled strange metal mixed with something like burnt wood. It felt wrong, unnatural. Rayan swallowed hard. He was alone. Every step echoed loudly. Ship wasn't just a machine. It was something else. Something alive. The living walls. The walls moved slowly, as if breathing. They shifted shape, forming passages and closing behind him. Rayan's heart beat fast. Every shadow seemed to watch him. He clutched the small tracking jammer Kale had given him. It was their only hope to hide from the ship's sensors. His mission was simple. Find the power core. Take it, get out, easy to say. Hard to do. Strange creatures in the dark as you walked deeper. Strange shapes appeared. Not aliens, not humans. Machines with legs like spiders. Eyes like cameras. They moved quickly and silently. One almost touched Rayan's arm. He held his breath. The machine scanned him and moved on. The prisoner. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the dark corridor. Stop. Rayan froze. A man stepped out of the shadows. His skin was pale. His eyes glowed blue, the same strange glow as the ship's veins. Who are you? Rayan asked. I'm Kale, the man said. A prisoner here. Kale looked tired, but his eyes were sharp. They captured me months ago, Kale whispered. They use humans like me to control the ship. Rayan listened closely. They want to break our minds. Make us tools, but I resisted. Kale looked worried. They know you're here now. You must be careful. Warning sign. Kale showed Rayan a strange mark on his arm, a glowing blue tattoo. It's how they track us, Kale said. Once marked, you can't hide. Rayan looked at his own arm nervously. I don't have it, he said. Kale shook his head. Not yet. But if you stay here too long, they will mark you. Rayan's skin crawled. The power core. Kale pointed to a heavy door deep inside the ship. Behind that door is the power core. It controls everything. Rayan nodded. We need to get it. But Kale warned him. The core is protected by living machines. They won't let you near. Heartbeat of the ship. Rayan moved toward the door. The walls throbbed louder. A low hum filled the air. It felt like the ship's heart. The door slid open slowly. Inside was a glowing orb, the power core. It floated, pulsing with light. Rayan stepped forward. The trap. Suddenly, the ship reacted. The walls shifted fast. Living metal arms shot out, blocking the exit. Machine surrounded Rayan. His heart pounded. He held up the jammer. A loud pulse knocked machines back, but it only worked for seconds. Fight or flight. Rayan ran. The corridors twisted and turned. Machines chased him. Glowing eyes. Burning. He ducked behind a corner, then heard footsteps fast. Heavy. He wasn't alone. The alien, a tall figure, appeared. It was not like the machines. It walked on two legs. Its skin was smooth and dark, eyes bright yellow. It looked at Rayan with cold intelligence. Rayan's breath stopped. Standoff. The alien spoke in a strange voice. Why are you here, human? Rayan swallowed. To take the core. The alien smiled, if a cold smile could be called that. You think you can steal from us? Rayan shook his head. I have to try. The alien raised a hand. Escape at that moment. Kale appeared behind Rayan. He threw a strange device at the alien. It exploded in a flash of light. The alien shouted and vanished. Rayan and Kale ran. Outside the core room, they reached a narrow tunnel. Kale looked at Rayan. You must take the core now. I will hold them off. Rayan nodded. He stepped forward. Taking the core, he reached for the glowing orb. It felt warm. Suddenly, images flashed in his mind. Stars, planets, ships, wars. The power was bigger than he imagined. He grabbed the core. The chase alarms blared. Machines poured in. Rayan ran faster. The jammer beeped. Almost out of power. He reached the exit. Freedom. Rayan burst out of the ship. Cold air hit his face. Behind him, the ship's lights blinked furiously. He ran to the base. Return, Mila. And the others waited anxiously. Rayan held up the power core. They cheered quietly. But Kale was missing. Aftermath. Mila looked at Rayan. They will come for us now. Rayan nodded. We have their power. Now they want revenge. Final scene. Outside, the black ships hovered. The world was still silent. But now, Earth had a chance, and Rayan was ready to fight. The cold base was silent. Only the soft hum of alien machines filled the air. Rayan sat with the glowing power core on the table. Its light pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Mila paced the room. Her face was tense. Around them, the resistance members worked quietly, repairing equipment and watching screens. They had the core. But now they needed a plan. The message Mila spoke first. The core holds a secret. A code. Rayan looked up. A code? Yes. The alien ships communicate with each other using this code. If we can crack it, we can control their movements. Rayan's eyes widened. Control the ships? Mila nodded. But first we must understand the code. Decoding begins for days. The resistance worked on the core. Rayan helped translate strange symbols. The core responded to touch, glowing different colors. The room was filled with tension, every moment. The black ships above waited. The signal interference 1. Night, the radio crackled again. A new voice came through. Warning. Alien code detected. Danger, near. The signal faded. Mila's face turned pale. They know we have the core. They're coming. Preparing for battle, Rayan and the resistance made weapons from alien tech. They created shields that could block the hunters' pulses. Mila trained everyone to fight quietly and fast. Rayan practiced moving in the dark, listening for any sound. The night attack one cold night. The black ships lowered. Hunters floated down like shadows. The base's alarms screamed. Rayan grabbed a shield and weapon. The resistance fought hard. Bright pulses from the hunters knocked people down. But the shields held. Rayan ran toward the core room. The code revealed. The power core glowed brightly. Rayan touched it again. Symbols flashed, shapes, lines and colors. Suddenly, a message appeared on the screen. Unlock. Sequence 7-3-9, Mila shouted. It's the code. The sequencer Rayan typed the numbers carefully. The core pulsed faster. Then, a map appeared on the screen showing all the alien ships. Mila gasped. We can see their positions. The counterattack plan with the code. They planned to disable the ships one by one. They could send commands to the ship's systems. If successful, Earth could fight back. Rayan felt hope growing. A new ally. Suddenly, Kale returned, weak but alive. He carried a small device. I found this on the ship, he said. It can jam the hunter's pulses longer. Rayan smiled. With this, they had a better chance. The next step. Mela looked at Rayan. The signal code is our key. But we must move fast. Rayan nodded. We'll take the fight to them. Final scene outside. The black ships hovered silently. World waited. The battle for Earth had just begun. The cold morning air was sharp and clear. Snow glittered under the pale sun. Rayan stood with Mila and the resistance fighters, ready to act. They had the code. They had the power core. And now, it was time. The plan. Mila explained the mission clearly. We will send a command to disable the nearest alien ship's weapons. Then we strike. Rayan listened carefully. This is our first chance to fight back. We must not fail. Sending the signal inside the base. Technicians worked quickly. Rayan watched the glowing console. Mila typed the sequence into the core. The screen flashed. Outside, a huge ship hovered silently. Then, its weapons powered down. They attacked the resistance. Moved fast. They attacked the disabled ship's landing zone. Rayan led the scouts. They moved through the snowy forest, avoiding patrols. The enemy respawned suddenly. Alarms blared. The black ships knew what was happening. Hunters appeared everywhere. Rayan's heart raced. The fight was on. Close combat. Rayan and the others fought hard. Blasts of energy lit the forest. Hunters moved fast, but the resistance was faster. Rayan used the jammer to block the hunters' tracking. The power core's secret in the middle of the fight. The power core glowed brightly in the base. Mila worked to unlock more of its secrets. She found a hidden message. Power surge weapon overload. A dangerous gamble. Mila explained the risk. If we overload the ship's power, it will explode, but it might damage us too. Rayan nodded. We have to try. Final push. The resistance pushed deeper into the ship's landing zone. Rayan found the power source. He placed the device Mila made. The explosion. The ship began to shake. Lights flickered. Suddenly, a huge explosion lit the sky. Snow and fire flew everywhere. The ship was destroyed. Victory and loss. The resistance cheered, but Rayan looked around. Kale was missing. Aftermath. Back at the base, the team was tired but hopeful. We've sent a message, Mila said. The fight has begun. Final scene. The black ships hovered, watching. But Earth was no longer silent. The sky was dark and heavy with clouds. Snow fell softly, but the cold felt sharper than before. Back at the resistance base, the atmosphere was tense. The victory had come with a cost. Kale was still missing. Rayan sat near the glowing power core, his mind restless. The disappearance. Mila gathered the leaders. We don't know where Kale is, she said, voice firm. Rayan felt a chill, not from the cold, but from doubt. Could he have been captured? He asked. Mila nodded. Or worse, we must find out. The secret message. Suddenly, a new radio signal came through. It was faint but clear. A voice whispered, trust no one. The enemy hides within. Rayan looked at Mila. What does it mean? Suspicion. Mila frowned. We have a spy, she said quietly. The idea shocked everyone. Rayan thought of the people around him, their tired faces, nervous glances, searching for the spy. The base was locked down. Everyone was watched carefully. Rayan helped question the resistance members. He noticed small things, a glance, a hesitation, a word too many. The hidden threat. Late at night, Rayan heard footsteps near the core room. He followed silently. A shadow moved quickly. Rayan caught the figure, a young woman with pale eyes. The truth revealed. Rayan confronted her. I know who you are, he said. The woman hesitated, then spoke. My name is Sira. I was forced to work with the aliens. She told how she was captured long ago, then escaped but was forced to spy. A chance for trust. Rayan looked at Sira carefully. We need you, but you must prove yourself. Sira nodded. New information. Sira shared secret maps and plans she had hidden. She spoke of an alien base under the ice, a place no one dared to go. Mila's eyes shone. That's where Kale might be. The ice base. The resistance prepared for a dangerous mission. Rayan, Mila, and Sira would go to the hidden base. The snowstorm raged outside as they left. Journey through the ice. The cold was brutal. They crossed frozen rivers and deep crevices. The wind screamed warnings. Arrival at last. The ice base appeared dark and massive. The entrance was guarded by machines. Rayan tightened his grip on his weapon. Stealth and danger. They moved carefully inside. The base was alive with alien tech. Strange noises echoed. The search for Kale deeper. Inside, they found signs, chains, old equipment, and faint footprints. Rayan's hope grew. Final scene. The group paused before a large door. Behind it, they knew Kale waited. The cold wind howled outside the icy base. Inside, the air was heavy with fear and hope. Raya on Mila and Sira stood before the large metal door. Behind it, Kale was waiting. Breaking in, Rayan took a deep breath and pushed the heavy door. It creaked open slowly, revealing a dark room. Chains hung from the walls. Kale lay on the floor, weak but alive. Kale's condition. Mila rushed to Kale's side. His breathing was shallow. We have to move fast, she said. Kale opened his eyes and whispered, the core. They want it back. Alarm triggered suddenly. Alarms blared loudly. Red lights flashed. The base was waking up. Rayan grabbed Kale's arm. We must escape now. The chase machines poured into the hall. Hunters with glowing eyes blocked their path. Rayan raised the jammer. A pulse sent several machines crashing down. Fighting through the group ran through winding corridors. Machines attacked from every side. Sira fired carefully, covering their backs. Mila tended to Kale, keeping him moving. A dead end. They reached a locked door. Rayan tried to open it. The keypad beeped red. "No good," he said. A desperate move. Sierra looked around and found a vent. "It's small," she said, "but we can fit." Rayan nodded. They lifted Kale carefully. Crawling escape. The vent was dark and narrow. They crawled through, muscles aching. Behind them, sounds of machines grew louder. Freedom in sight. The vent opened into a snowy clearing. Moonlight shone down. Scrambled out, gasping for air. The return back at the resistance base. Everyone cheered. Kale smiled weakly. "The core's power is our hope," he said. Preparing for the final battle. Mila looked at the team. "This fight is far from over. They will come for us again." Rayan clenched his fists. "We'll be ready." Final scene outside. The black ships gathered. The war for the galaxy was only beginning. The snow had stopped. The sky was dark, filled with stars and enemy ships. Black, silent, and deadly. The resistance stood ready at the base, armed and alert. This was it. The final battle. The last message. Kale, still weak, sat beside the glowing power core. He sent one final signal using the alien code. "Earth resists. Earth fights back." The message traveled into space. They didn't know if anyone would hear it, but it was sent. Enemy response within hours. The alien ships moved. Not one, not 10. Hundreds. They descended like a swarm, darkening the sky. The earth shook with fear. Inside the base, Mila stood tall. She spoke clearly to the resistance. "We may be few, but we are not broken. Today, we fight not just for Earth but for all worlds they've taken." Rayan looked at the faces around him. Tired, scared, but ready, hidden. Power. Sarah came forward. "I've unlocked another part of the core. It can send a massive pulse enough to disable their fleet. But it's risky." Kale nodded slowly. "It will burn out the core." Rayan understood. They had one shot. The final plan. Mila laid it out. Lure the enemy close. Activate the core pulse. Use ground teams to strike at damaged ships. Everyone had a role. This was the final stand. Battle begins. The first alien blasts hit the ground near the base. The resistance fired back. Energy weapons lit the sky. Rayan led a small team through the forest, flanking enemy scouts. The air was filled with smoke, screams, and metal tearing apart. Activating the pulse inside the base. Sierra worked with Kale to prepare the core. Lights flickered. The core glowed so bright it hurt to look at. Mila shouted, "Now!" The shockwave. The pulse burst out like a silent explosion. A wave of white-blue light spread across the sky. Alien ships froze mid-air. Some fell, others sparked and lost power. The counterattack. Rayan's team struck fast. They climbed into the nearest downed ship, placed explosives. Ran. Boom. Turning the tide. Sky cleared as more alien ships dropped. The resistance pushed forward. Humanity fought not with numbers, but with fire, courage, and unity. Sacrifice. Suddenly, an alien warlord appeared. On the battlefield, taller, stronger, more advanced. It moved straight toward the base. Mila ran to intercept it. She knew what had to be done. With a stolen alien blade, she struck it, and it struck her back. Both fell. The end of the battle. With the warlord gone, the rest of the fleet retreated. The sky grew quiet. The ground stopped shaking. The resistance stood, tired and wounded, but alive. Aftermath. Kale helped place a memory stone for Mila. "She saved the world," he said. Rayan stood silently beside him. The future. Sierra turned to the stars. "We have their ships, their maps, their tech." Kale nodded. "They took our planet. Now we take the galaxy." Rayan looked up at the night sky. A new war was waiting, but Earth would not run. Final shock. The camera pulls back. The Earth, scarred but free. The stars beyond, full of danger and hope.